Welcome to another edition of AFL Today. I'm your host, E-Money, and today we're breaking down the conference championships and, of course, our Arena Bowl 21 preview. That's right, folks. You saw it here first. We predicted that San Jose SaberCats outclass the Chicago Rush and do it in a convincing style. This was a game none of us, I think, really expected that many turnovers. We're going to get into that game, of course, as well as Columbus. Hey, I was 50-50. Shocking the world and shocking me, taking down Georgia as we saw Chris Grice and we've never seen before. All that and more as we get into it. Here we go. All right, folks, here it is. Columbus Destroyers. I still can't believe it. I've watched the game a few times. I'm still amazed. Columbus takes a trip, first of all, to Kansas City and takes care of them. That really wasn't a big surprise. Then they take it to Dallas, and now they do the same thing that they did to Dallas, they did to Georgia. And Chris Greisen, unbelievable. Greisen throws 2 interceptions in the first half and totally comes unglued. I've never seen him play this way. It was amazing. Again, I was just totally amazed. I'm like, who is this quarterback? What happened? And of course, Columbus was firing on all cylinders. Nagy, Bush, Gross, Brown, all the interceptions. Magner, wherever he came from. I mean, Columbus was on, and it was just fabulous to watch. They had 6 stops recorded over the game. It was just great to see, this castaway team. You got Skip Foster, who was kicked out of Austin. Of course, you got Coach K let go by the Avengers. And I don't think that was really any bad blood there. But, of course, Matt Nagy, kicked to the curb by George. And all these players kind of ended up in Columbus that, a lot of people didn't really want, or the coaching staff or whatever. And now here they are in the Arena Bowl. Incredible. All right, as far as Georgia goes, again, I don't know what happened to Grice. And a lot of people say, well, Bergeron wasn't there. He was a little unnerved. No. He's got Chris Jackson. You saw him calling the plays. Hey, let's throw something to CJ. CJ had 6 TDs. Greisen was just off all game. And I think it was just, again, he just came unglued with the pressure. Is the only way I can do it, or I can explain it. And here's the other thing, though. Colorado had 6 stops, but here's the thing. Georgia still, in the fourth quarter, tied the game. So despite the interceptions, despite the bad throws, despite everything that was going Columbus's way, they still tied the game. You saw the momentum shift. Chris Jackson scores at game time. TD, everybody's up. Everybody's excited. They give the ball, again, over to Columbus. Columbus scores, and Georgia's turn to answer, and what happens? A typical, they couldn't even get 10 yards. It was 4th down, overthrow to Jackson. You saw the disgust on his face, and I think Georgia really can just look at Greisen because he was the one that lost that game for them. And, of course, Coach Plank is just disgusted again. This is the 2nd time he's won Coach of the Year. First time he lost in Arena Bowl. Now he's lost in the conference championship. So he's not very excited about that. So Georgia's got some questions there. I think it was just a bad game for Greisen at a bad time. And again, I don't know if it was the pressure or what it was, but nonetheless, Georgia, again, with all the turnovers in this game, too, it was incredible back and forth. Columbus had so many opportunities to bury Georgia. They couldn't do it. Georgia still came back, still had a chance in the fourth quarter. And when you're playing that lousy and you still have a chance to win the game and you don't do it, all you can do is look yourself in the mirror and go, oh, I can't believe this. So Georgia's got some tough off-season things to deal with. And I got a chance to talk with KI, Kevin Ingram from the Avengers. We talked about that disappointing loss. He said, well, you know what? Georgia and Dallas are going to have a worse offseason than we are. I said, I tell you, man. On the other side, of course, to Columbus, we got to hand it off to him. Congratulations. I did not have faith in Matt Nagy. Here he is proving everybody wrong. Everybody's peaking at the right time, and they are going to New Orleans in style. Again, congratulations to the Columbus Destroyers. I salute you guys, and we'll talk about my predictions right after we cover Chicago taking a trip to San Jose. And again, as I predicted, they get outclassed 61-49. Of course, Durazio, this guy, what a warrior. Incredible. You saw him do it against LA, thought he could do it again here, but I'm telling you, the San Jose front 3 are a lot different than the LA Avengers. Even those guys are talented, but San Jose found the way to put the hits on Durazio, forced him to 3 interceptions. 3 interceptions. You could tell he was just off. The questions remain, should he came out sooner or later? I don't really know. I think he wasn't doing that bad, but he definitely wasn't himself, and he thought he could tough it out. But their backup there, Rustin Mikna, came from the CFL. This guy is solid. And I don't know if he's going to be around. They're talking about, oh, quarterback of the future for Chicago. Trust me, he's not going to be around much longer. Somebody's going to scoop him up like they did with Grayson when he was at Dallas. So you can say goodbye to him. I think the other matchup that was key was Scipio versus Cleveland Thomas. Bobby Scipio versus Cleveland Thomas. And the winner is Cleveland Thomas. Scipio got his few touchdowns, but for the most part, Cleveland did his job against Scipio. Of course, you're not going to hold this guy scoreless. But again, the San Jose defense did what they need to do to lock down Chicago. And of course, the turnovers, the fumbles, Chicago this time just could not recover. And you saw it, of course, in the score. Grebe, got to hand it to him on the San Jose side. Mark Grebe, what a stud. He actually proved his toughness there. You saw in the fourth quarter that around the neck takedown that they didn't call a penalty for. Grebe is a stud, man. Poised, stood in the pocket, delivered, took a few shots. Ben Nelson, 4 TDs, some fabulous grabs. Although the best catch of the game has to go to the fullback Glover with a great grab in the back of the end zone. Amazing. But on the other receiving side, James Rowe had a breakout game. 10 receptions, no TDs. But here's the thing. All his receptions were key third and fourth down possessions there where they had to make the throw, had to move the chains, and he got it done. And again, just a fabulous performance all the way around from San Jose. So now, let's get into the breakdown. Arena Bowl 21. Who's going to win it? All right, folks. Arena Bowl 21 preview. Here it is. I have to tell you, this is probably the hardest prediction I've ever had to make. You look at both sides. Everybody's got so many pluses going for them. Of course, Columbus, the Cinderella story. I mean, how can you bet against these guys? They've proven it already. Dallas, Georgia, both of them on the road, taking care of these guys. I mean, how can you not give it to the underdogs? Although on the other side of the ball, of course, San Jose, which is just steady and consistent as a rock. This is a winning organization. They've proven it year in and year out. They've never lost an Arena Bowl. And so, I mean, how do you go against either one of these guys? I do think the advantage lies in San Jose. Grebe has been there, of course, many times before. A lot of the players have been there before. Coaching staff's been there before. It's not really that big of a deal. Of course, you got the magic momentum there with Columbus. And I don't think, and I'm going to give it away here, I think San Jose is going to win, but I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to happen with Matt Nagy. The luck's going to run out. He's going to finally start, again, if they do lose, it's going to be because Matt Nagy feels the pressure, Columbus feels the pressure, and they tighten up, which they haven't done all playoff game. Of course, with San Jose, I don't think they're going to be tightened up. I think it's just going to be a matter of them being there, been there, done that kind of thing. They're not going to make the jittery first quarter mistakes, and I think they're going to be there towards the end of the fourth quarter. And I think San Jose is going to pull it out. But again, nonetheless, regardless, you got to give it up to Columbus. Coach Kane, Skip Foster, what those guys have done with the program. Nagy, Gross, Brown, all those guys, I mean, incredible. But I'm leaning towards the SaberCats, of course, keeping on the Western Division side of things. I think the Cats are going to take it in Arena Bowl 21. So you heard it here first. We'll see next week, not this week, of course, but next week when it happens, and we'll see who proves who right, that's for sure. So again, folks, we thank you for supporting and enjoying this year of AFL Today. We look forward to come back next year with you, and of course, we'll be back for the Arena Bowl 21 breakdown. But again, enjoy the game, and hopefully we'll see some of you in New Orleans.